the home of them boys, you already know just what I'm ripping. A bunch of ice and blue and white, that's how we really stiff. See, I come from the D where we got shags and we be flexing. If you ain't from my state, then you should know, don't miss a Texas. Hey, I already know this team connected. You know that we go crazy when the ball in our possession. That's right, when we unite, it only go in.
Yo, what is happening, Cowboys Nation? This is your unimitated, never duplicated Cowboylorian presents Club Mando. We here talking more and more about the Cowboys. You know, you love them, you hate them. You know, it's always, the Cowboys are always on everybody's mind. You know, they really, really have to get on people's nerves or have to get them talking. So, you know, nothing is ever new. So we got this going on today. You know, first let's start off with good old Jerry Jones. Pivoting from what he promised us originally. He said we're all in. We are going to do everything possible to get a championship run this year. What did he give us? He decides to say, we got to do more with less. So, you know, we Cowboy Nation cannot be any more upset than probably what they are right now. Cowboylorian, thank you for joining. Yes, sir. How you doing? Heath, Red Owl, how you doing? Appreciate you joining. Really appreciate it. Johnny Boy, Daryl, 8-Ball, Aquatic Life, Bills Mafia, JR, Novi Black, Papa Reese, how you doing? So anyways, you know, everything has really been put on deck for, you know, the last years about what's been going on. Well, it honestly looks like it's turned on to Jerry Jones and showing that he is not doing everything to put the right players in place, that we got to play with the bargain basement players. The right players in place. So, is that the right concept? Is that the right process? Is that the right way to go about things? You know, most definitely not. But that's just the way Jerry Jones is doing business now, thinking that this is what is actually going to get us to where we want to go. And it's definitely not. Because, yes, we've done well in many seasons, but we haven't reached where we wanted to go. So, you know, it's time to make a change in philosophy, but it don't seem like Jerry wants to do that. So it's a frustrating time for Cowboys Nation right now. Then on top of that, knowing that we have players that are taking up a good amount of salary cap space, for us not to even try to extend these players, such as CD Lamb, Parsons, you know, makes no sense. These contracts should have been taken care of way before the new season ever took place. These should have been negotiated. So, you know, Jerry and Steven have their head up there, you know what, and really ain't doing nothing much to help this team at this point. They are hurting us more than helping us, and it is super frustrating. Kaden, how you doing? Yeah, definitely not all in. We are not all in. I'll say that, but neither are the Birds, so it's okay. Well, technically the Birds go in all in every year, but, you know, always fall up short, so it's okay. Alex, what's good? How you doing? Lorenzo, thank you for joining. How you doing? Not even close, Jason. Caden, and your point is, the Birds have won one time in 64 years. What's your point? Jason, you're not telling me anything I don't know about my quarterback. You know, I can actually really see very, very well. It's not very difficult to see what Dax lacks. So it's not anything new. Gavin, Eagles cannot be better when you've only won one title in 64 years. It is impossible to be better than a team that has 5 championships compared to a team that's only won one in 64 years. Best Filter, how you doing? Yep, they're always on something. Them and Niners fans. But what can you do? Very delusional. And, Jason, what's your point? We still have them. We still have them. It honestly doesn't matter when you got them. You have them. Just like the Cardinals, the Bears, the Browns, the Giants, and Philly had championships before the NFL merger occurred. They still have them. You can ignore them all you want, but those teams still have them, but they don't have Super Bowls. And what most people talk about are Super Bowls. There's only one person who will argue with the NFL championships, being that they're the only team that really talks about them and super acknowledges them every year, and that's the Giants. And that's Mr. Sneaky G. Rob, you can say Cowboys are trash all the time, but yet you're still here helping me become more popular. So it's fine with me. Say all you want, but Cowboys ain't trash if you're still talking about them and they're still coming out your mouth. Yeah, I never ignored that, Jason. Yeah, the Steelers and Patriots have 6 Super Bowls. And in all this time, y'all had 64 years to catch up to us, and y'all ain't been doing it. So, what's y'all's excuse? I've never believed in Dak. I've seen so many flaws and so many issues since his rookie year. He's a decent quarterback, but he does certain things that get you beat. Jason, you know how hard it is to win a Super Bowl, much less the amount of Super Bowls that we have? It's not easy. Look at the Chiefs. The last time the Chiefs had won a Super Bowl before Patrick Mahomes or ever got to a Super Bowl was in the 60s. But you don't hear Chiefs fans talking about it. The thing with Eagles and Niners fans is y'all worry more about us than y'all worry about your own team. We don't worry about y'all. Whatever y'all do in the off season, during the season is all you. Have fun. It doesn't affect us. We're not worried about it. Tyrone Watson. Yes, sir, I did mention the Chiefs. I said that y'all hadn't been or won the Super Bowl since Len Dawson way back when, but y'all still ain't the ones that come out and have to talk all the time. Y'all have won 3 of the last 4, and if everything kind of goes the way you guys want it to, you guys could possibly have a chance to go for a three-peat. But who knows? Everything can be different. Jason, you're about 2 years, bro. That happened 2 years ago. Y'all worry more about the past than the Cowboys do. The only reason we bring up our 5 Super Bowls from the past is because y'all want to bring up the last 30 years. Well, that's the past. Robin Stat, how you doing? Shady, you can talk all the trash you want. Because here's the thing. You're still on my show. You're still talking about the Cowboys. And you still bring up the Cowboys because you can't get it out of your mind to stick to your own team. So you can say all you want. It doesn't matter. Chaotic, you worry about the weirdest things. One is more consistent play all around from every single player because they tend to not show up when the games matter. Because like Patrick Mahomes showed this year, you can have a shitty season all year long, but as long as you show up when the playoffs show up and the Super Bowl, hey, you can win a championship. So that's one piece. Second is having a defense that is not soft and can actually attack the ball where they should. And hopefully with Mike Zimmer at our DC this year, that should change and we should see an improvement there. How much of an improvement's yet to be seen because we still need a lot of pieces. Yeah, I'm sure partying with Jerry on his yacht would be fun. No, you actually are incorrect because the Super Bowl has been had in there. Unfortunately, it was the Packers who actually won it. So make sure you have all your facts in order. Super Cowboy, how you doing, sir? Hope all is well. Brandon, how you doing? But like I was mentioning earlier, Dak not being extended, Dak and Jerry not talking about doing any kind of contracts or restructures are, something that Cowboys need to get done. And Jerry and Steve need to get off their you-know-whats. Ghost Kill, Niners and Cowboys are the exact same. 5 Super Bowls. 8 Super Bowls overall. Have won 5, lost 3. Niners are not better. Rob, you never know with Trey Lance. I mean, we only got him one more year, but who knows what Trey Lance can be? We've not seen what he could be. We've seen little bits and spurts, but you don't know what he can be. He hasn't been able to show what he's capable of. We didn't even see what he could do with even our offense, which we'll probably see here in the preseason coming up. So who knows what's going to happen with Trey Lance. Tony Ibarra, how you doing? Hope Garcia, how you doing? Hey, maybe, but we will find out, won't we? Who knows? And I hate to say it, but Caleb Williams has a very strong resemblance to Dak. And that's kind of scary. Michael Ferguson, well, we'll see what y'all do this year. He has guys on right there. Anthony Lewis, that might be the case. That definitely could be the case between Dak and Caleb. Who knows? The AFC definitely has some teams, Rob. I'm not going to lie. AFC has some teams. You got the Ravens. You got the Bills. You got the Bengals when they're healthy. You got who else is out there? Miami, if they can get some consistent play there, but you never know. Dallas in the AFC North, yeah, they can handle the AFC North. And we played the Chiefs before when they had a lot better players, and you know we lost the game, but we didn't exactly get blown out. So Ghost Kill, here's the thing. I'm not gonna lie, you do have a really good running back, you have a really good defense, you have some really good linebackers when they don't get hurt running from the sideline. But here's y'all's problem. You have a head coach who doesn't know how to win championships. He has blown 3 Super Bowls the exact same way. He blew it with the Atlanta Falcons, and he's blown the last 2 with the Niners. How is it that you blow 2 Super Bowls in the exact same fashion, but blame it on your defensive coordinator? One you fired, one left just to take a head coaching job somewhere so he didn't have to get fired. I said this once the playoffs started. The Niners could get to the Super Bowl, but their head coach is going to be the death of them because he doesn't know how to win and use his players. 2 times he did not run his dang running back when he had good running backs. So it's y'all's coach that will keep you from winning a Super Bowl. Dude, so what? Dak had 1 season of throwing interceptions. How many years does Josh Allen is the quarterback with the most interceptions, but he doesn't get talked about? Brett Favre used to throw interceptions on a consistent basis. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. Let's see, who else? Dan Marino. Montana used to throw plenty of interceptions. Who else is out there that used to throw quite a bit of interceptions? There's been plenty of quarterbacks in the league that have had really. Peyton Manning. That was the other person I was thinking about. You can have an off year when you are pressing to make plays happen. It happens. Now, is he doing it every single year? No. The most he's ever had prior to that is 9 interceptions, was exactly what he had this year. Ethan Hawking, Giants ain't sweeping nobody. They ain't swept us in, I don't know, 10 years or longer. Jay, I hate to break it to you, the Eagles ain't getting to a Super Bowl with Kellen Moore as the offensive coordinator and Sirianni as the head coach because he doesn't know how to make adjustments or actually how to hire coaches, obviously. Super Cowboy, put a pinch of Cowboys, yes sir. Scarface, we'll see what the Steelers bring. Who knows what the Steelers can bring this year? You got Russ Wilson, who started off really bad and kind of did a little bit better. Y'all traded a good amount of picks for Justin Fields. So who knows what's going to happen there? We'll find out. Where do you get 6-0? You do realize you have to look at the overall picture, right? If you're talking about the last 6 meetings, then okay. But, we have beat y'all in Green Bay, so. Yeah, we lost to Green Bay, so. Big Worm, we beat y'all in 2017 in Lambeau when your great Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback. That wouldn't even help Critical Panda. I hate to break it to you. Francisco, why do y'all Niners think that really matters to us? 5th game of the year, then y'all lost 3 in a row to to 3 of the worst teams in the league at the time. What did it matter? Nothing. So what, Big Worm? Who cares? Have y'all won the Super Bowl? Have y'all won a Super Bowl since 2009? No. So it don't matter. Beating the Cowboys does not mean you won a championship. Carlos, that should actually be a good game. I'm actually looking forward to that game too, because the last one was a good game, even though it shouldn't have been at all. Panda, do you want a cookie for getting there? Last I checked, nobody remembers the losers of the Super Bowl, and there are no points for second place. And guess what? There's no participation trophies for losing Super Bowls. And again, that was 15 years ago and counting. Next. Wow. And then get to walk out losers once again for the exact same loss that you guys had 4 years prior. That's not pride. That's not pride at all. Just because you walk into the last game, you actually have to walk out of it a champion. If you don't walk out of it a champion, getting there is meaningless. You can make it to a Super Bowl. You have to win a Super Bowl. Y'all, there is no participation trophies for just getting to a Super Bowl. Nobody cares if you made it to the Super Bowl. It's all about who won. I bet if I asked 90% of y'all who lost the Super Bowl 20 years ago, you guys would have to look it up on Google because you guys wouldn't know. I ain't mad. Why would I be mad because we didn't get there? Y'all still in the same position as us. Y'all, we didn't win the Super Bowl. You didn't win the Super Bowl. Who cares? It's over. Niner fans love to get so much praise for doing the least amount of stuff. It's amazing. I have seen 3 Super Bowls in my lifetime. Flex, how you doing? Anthony, got nothing to say. KC's done well the last 4 years, so can't have nothing to say. Flex, do you really want to go into this one? Yes, you beat us in regular season. Um, who whooped y'all in Super Bowls? No, we're not rivals. Bills and Cowboys are not rivals. In the 90s, they were rivals. Y'all more rivals with the Jets than you are with the Cowboys. Anthony, that could be possible. Who knows? Rhonda, how you doing? Yep, that's your Marquise Brown's going to be y'all's great value Tyreek Hill. So we'll see if he can do better with Mahomes than he did with Lamar Jackson and what's his face with the Cardinals. One thing's for sure, I don't know if you guys have him under contract or not. I think you do because he was traded, but y'all needed Hardman. Y'all definitely needed Hardman. I don't know if you guys would have survived without Hardman. You do got that one kid that was a rookie this past year. I think his last name's Rice. As long as he gets some development, he'll do well. He did some good things last year, especially during the playoffs. Ghost, no, I would say the Eagles needed the refs more than even the Chiefs did. Because I don't know how you can pull a face mask, tackle people, yank people down directly in front of the refs, not get a call, but you get a little jersey tug like that, and it's a holding penalty. So. Alicia, thank you for joining. Ray, John Reyes, Craig Carter, Alex. Rhonda, thanks for the likes. Make sure you are liking and subscribing. Do appreciate it. Don't worry. It happens to all of us. Autocorrect or us just typing too fast. It happens. Bradley, Dragon, how you doing? Well, like I was saying, what Super Bowl is that? No, honestly, it would have been actually kind of a cool Super Bowl to see the Cowboys versus the Bills in this past Super Bowl, or even Cowboys and Chiefs would have been a pretty interesting Super Bowl just to watch. Who knows? Definitely didn't happen though. Yeah, Cowboys Dolphins would have been well. That would have just been a that would have been a rewatch of when the Cowboys won their first Super Bowl way back when. We whooped the crap out of the Dolphins. I think it was like 27-3 or something like that. I know the Dolphins only scored 3 points, but then after the next year, the Dolphins went 16-0 and won the Super Bowl. So that definitely would have been interesting. Team of the 90s, no extension for Dak. Yeah, he definitely needs to be playing on this last year of his contract. I honestly don't see any other way, you know, because we can't be seeing the exact same thing every time we get to the playoffs, where Dak does not show up for the first 3.5 quarters, and then at the 8-minute mark he starts playing like he should have the entire game. Like, you would think he was throwing every single playoff that there was. Definitely never makes sense to me, and that's what really irritates me about Dak. Him not showing up for the big games or the games that matter the most. Brisk, how you doing? J Dub, thank you for the share. Lions Flock, how you doing? I don't know how we're horrible. We still beat y'all. Y'all had a really good season this past year. Not going to deny that. You guys had a really good season. Y'all got to do it again. Because Lions fans cannot be talking about how the Cowboys are horrible. Y'all been horrible for a long time. AB, you know what? I have no idea what is going to happen next year. We'll have to find out, because Jerry and Steven are going to have to make some decisions. So it's hard to say what's going to happen. Jerry and Steven obviously got their head up there, you know what? So, they're trying to use, past decisions to make their decisions now, which is good to a point, but when it's affecting your entire decision making, especially going after players that should actually help the team and improve the team, it's a who knows, and it's a wait and see. Forced account creation. Thoughts on Love? Love had a good season this past year. We'll see how he does. Hopefully he doesn't fall into that sophomore slump. That happens to a lot of quarterbacks. So we'll see. I'm always of the belief that 1 year, having one good season means jack. You have to do it year after year after year in order for me to take notice, because 1 year, so many of these players do good 1 year, especially like in college, and become first-round draft picks and then become nothing afterwards because they didn't play a whole lot. So who knows? Rondo, Rico Dowdle, the problem I have with him, and the problem I've always had with him, he always gets hurt. I cannot trust Rico to stay healthy. So I'm very out on Rico Dowdle at the moment, because I cannot depend on him to stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, then we can have another discussion. But for the little sample we were able to see this past year, he did pretty well. So we'll see. Trey Lance, you know what? It's possible. We'll definitely have to see how Trey Lance does in the preseason. I really would have preferred to have seen Trey play a little bit here and there during the season, just so we can see what we have, because he should have definitely had at least a game or two to play in the fourth quarter, so we could see where he's at as far as grasp of the offense and how he actually can handle the offense and throw the ball and hopefully stay healthy, because that's another thing. He is another health risk. So, that's the problem there. Diego, how do you think DeRon Bland will do this coming season? You know what? I honestly think he's going to have a similar season to what Trayvon Diggs had after his 11 interception year, where they didn't throw the ball at him at all. But depending on where DeRon actually plays, because I don't know if they're going to keep him on the outside. It all depends if we can get Stephon Gilmore back or not. So we'll have to see what we do with our corners. It's still early in the offseason. We still got the offseason. We still got the draft. We've got players in the back. So, we have to see how the roster shakes out. But in order to see what DeRon's going to do, we have to see if he's going to be playing outside or if he's going to go back to the slot. But he can definitely play both, so we'll see. I don't think many quarterbacks are going to challenge him because they definitely try to stay away from him as much as possible. I think only 2 quarterbacks really went after him, and that was Geno Smith, which, he had a bad game, but he was also due for a bad game. So, we'll have to see. Dwayne Deal, how about that offseason? It's a shitty one. Can't say it. Yeah. The thing with the Panthers, I feel sorry for their quarterback for a simple reason is they didn't put any pieces behind him, and they wanted him to start from the get-go with a coach who didn't even get a chance to actually coach him. So, so many owners are firing coaches with these rookie quarterbacks. And it's like, you got to give these coaches and these rookie quarterbacks some time together before you make that decision, because the coach has to adjust his offense offense to match that quarterback and so many other things. So much has to be done. So from 92, if there's any indication that it would be another Niners-Chiefs Super Bowl, I think people would not watch it. Like, so many people didn't even want to watch this last one. Ghost Kill, I've seen that before. I've seen it. 1989, 1-15. Not like I haven't been through it. The NFL is unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. You can look like the best team in the league on paper, but one injury, or a few injuries can make your entire season go down the drain. So, for example, 2015 started off really well. Romo went down. We ended the season 4-12. You do not know what's going to happen. Same thing in 2020 when Dak got his ankle broken. We did okay, but we didn't do that well. So, it's any team can go downhill, similar with the Bengals. The Bengals even though they did pretty well, with Burrow out, they can go downhill, man. The NFL is a gruesome league. Although the new rules should be very interesting. I don't know how refs are going to call it, but it should be very, very interesting on what's going to happen with that new rule, on whether it's going to be fines or whatever. Devlin 9. Who knows, Dev? We won't know. We don't know. You can always sign a player to a long-term contract during the season. You can always get it done before the start of the new league year next year. Who knows what's possible? You can even sign it before training camp. Jason Cole. I know quite a few people that are like that. It's that has to be rough. Mr. Rapp, I don't know why you talking, man. I mean, my co-host on my other show is Jetolorian. He's a Jets Mandalorian, so I don't know why you talking, man. This is a character. We are super fans. Y'all just other teams fans just respect fans. If you don't like the other team, cool. That's fine. I don't care. You can like the Cowboys. You can hate the Cowboys. You can despise them. That's fine. That's your prerogative. I'm the same way with the Eagles, the Giants, the Commanders, the Niners, the Cardinals. I'm the exact same way with those teams. But I respect their fans. Unless they come at me a certain way, that's when I will chirp back. But I'm all about fans cheering on their team, supporting their team. If they want to dress up as a specific character, they can dress up as a specific character. I know so many super fans that are Eagles fans, Niners fans, Raiders fans. It does not matter. Like, respect the fans, respect, super fans who actually go out of the way to make a specific character for their team. Because if you can't respect that, you know what? You shouldn't be a fan. There's got to be lines that cannot be crossed as fans. You need to respect everyone's choice to be a fan of a specific team. All right. You're not the only one that I've had to say that to, but that's just got to be the truth. Like me and my boy Jetolorian, we have very fun back and forth. You can go look at our TikToks. We go back and forth quite a bit. Ghost, that's an easy answer for me, and that's Joe Montana because he's never lost a Super Bowl. Luke, I'm trying to talk to the Niners Mando to get him on the show, so maybe we'll get him on one time. We have an entire crew of NFL Mandos. There are 26 of us that we know of. Hey Simmons, how you doing? Aaron, you trying to tell me something I don't already know? That's not news. Jason, I will say that shocked me. I was not expecting the Steelers to trade away their best receiver, but maybe they're looking at a receiver in the draft that they might be able to sign or trade up to get. So who knows? We'll find out. I answered that. I said Joe Montana. I'll always say Joe Montana was a better quarterback than Tom Brady. Because Joe Montana did not have the rules to protect him. He played in a lot more aggressive, a lot more violent era of football. And yeah, Joe Montana is the GOAT quarterback. Matt Barlow, how you doing? Appreciate you hopping on. Henry McPherson, how you doing? Thank you for coming on, sir. Goes the Niners and Cowboys rivalry just goes way too far back. But the only rivalry that I ever care about is going to be the NFC Championship games. Cowboys and Niners played 2 in the 70s, 2 in the 90s, or 3 in the 90s, I'm sorry. Slow rolling 86. How about them Giants? I don't know. We'll find out, won't we? You get your boy Sneaky G. Sneaky G thinks the Giants are going to do something. We'll find out because, Daniel Jones is still coming back. Supposedly, your owner wants to draft another quarterback. Y'all have DeVito. I don't know if that's even in the conversation anymore. We'll find out. The Eagles. So the Eagles. The thing with the Eagles, and I don't know how many times I'm going to say this, y'all hired the dumbest OC there is, and then you sign a running back for a high amount of money that you're not going to use somewhere the way they did not use DeAndre Swift a majority of the season. I don't know what was promised to Saquon, but he definitely ain't getting the ball. And things ain't going to happen for him. He's just going to get paid to not have to run the ball. And when it's on the 1 yard line, he's going to have to watch tush push happen 65 times a year for 3 years. Hey, Mr. Rapp, didn't I see the Rangers win this past year? Just wondering on that one. Let me see your full name, guys. It's officially PD. You know what? That could be a possibility. We'll see. The AFC still has some good teams out there that can, put a stop to it. I mean, in all honesty, I think the Cowboys were the last team to actually get close to trying to3-peat, but were beat in the NFC Championship. So We'll find out. It's hard to get back to the Super Bowl, so we'll see. Anything's possible in the NFL. You can have a Super Bowl hangover and not do a darn thing the following year. You can make it to the AFC or NFC Championship. You just never know in the NFL. Things change so wildly. Saw something from Michael Parsons hop on. Lifting up Eagles. I don't know. We'll see what the Eagles do this year because I have no faith in y'all's OC. For the kind of year that Kellen Moore had this past year, being he was supposed to be the wonder kid that's going to take Justin Herbert to the next evolution of his career, that definitely did not happen. Eckler did not get the ball like he did previously, and the Chargers were one of the worst teams in the league. Nathaniel, Bengals. If Joe Burrow can come back healthy, we'll find out. Surprise your boy T. Higgins is wanting out of the Bengals. Why you dumb? How you doing? Yes, sir, Cowboys. And so many are popping up, it's hard to keep up. And Instagram and Facebook needs to keep up with TikTok on this, because and YouTube. Where are y'all at? Troy, you want to talk about me covering my face here? You can't even say what team you actually support. By the way, you coming on my show and talking, so you can't even show on your profile picture what team you support, or even on your page what team you support. Keep your mouth shut. Goja, go. What are your thoughts on the Bills? We'll have to see, boss. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs need to get it together. Y'all's always had a defense for quite a bit of years. You guys have had to cut quite a few of your good players, so we'll find out what's going to happen with the Bills. You guys have had quite a bit of chances to make it to the championship game and make it to the Super Bowl, but you guys have had some bad luck against Patrick Mahomes, but also the one thing y'all cannot afford to have happen, for some odd reason, you guys are jinxed in overtime. Y'all need to score touchdowns and end the game, because the Bills just do not have good luck in overtime games. Ravens too. Ravens have a shot. El Stoner. Poodle Pinche Cowboys, yes sir. Huh? Rams need to get some pieces together. Y'all lost your best D lineman. Y'all gonna need some extra firepower this year, because Aaron Donald's not there to help anymore. Let me see. Laptop is kind of in the way. So. Jay, I got nothing to say about Kansas City. Y'all won 3 of the last 4. There's nothing to say. You guys had a really bad regular season, but you all turned it on when it mattered, and you guys won the Super Bowl. There's nothing to say. Woody, doesn't the name say it all? Cowboylorian. User 232. So 463 is actually my member number. I'm a member of a group called the Hard Hitters. We're a nationwide group. So we're just passionate Cowboy fans, and that's just my member number. Appreciate it, Jay. There's the belt. I actually got another one downstairs I just got. Be making some TikToks with those here shortly. The person that said Eagles, I'm not even going to try and say that because I know I'm going to screw it up. Not the big hitters, hard hitters. HARD hitters. Woody, no, I don't say that. You'll never hear me say that whatsoever at any point in time. I don't say anything before the season, during the season about the Super Bowl, unless we are in the NFC Championship game. Then I can start talking about a Super Bowl. But until we reach the NFC Championship game, I ain't talking about no Super Bowl. So y'all so happy about signing Saquon, but yet you guys don't even run the ball except for Jalen. You guys didn't even run the ball last year with freaking DeAndre Swift. Not only that, you have a OC who doesn't run the football. Did you not watch the Chargers last year? That's the exact same person you guys got. That's the only pick that I guys worry about. You guys overpaid for a defensive end in Huff, $160 million for a guy who's a rotational player. You guys signed linebackers who probably won't even be on the team come the end of training camp. So what does it matter? Everyone here is perfectly fine. I have not had any issues. So I know more about football than you ever could. You obviously don't watch football because You don't even know who your OC is and what he's capable of because y'all faced him for 5 years with the Cowboys. You don't realize Saquon Barkley is injury prone. You have a head coach who doesn't know how to make decisions properly. Hello? Four, 6, 3. Same numbers as on my chest. Mark Richard, appreciate you hopping on. Xander, Juan Carlos. Cowboy Levi, how you doing, sir? What is because I'm part of a Cowboys fans club. This is just my member number to the Cowboys fan club. Oh, not too bad. Dealing with Eagles fans and Niners fans like usual, Levi. You only watch Roadhouse to see Conor McGregor. Don't lie. Come on, Levi. I've seen you on your TikTok. You do his walk. Okay, Simmons, yes, sir. Exactly. Nah, he is a good fighter. McGregor reminded me of Roy Jones Jr. and just his confidence and cockiness. Woody, because we have an owner and a cheap owner. No, let me rephrase that. We have an owner and a cheap owner's son who are the reason the NFL has a salary cap, is the reason why we have profit sharing in the NFL, but yet they cannot figure out how to manage a salary cap like everyone else because for some odd reason, every other team in the league has figured out how to get $80 and $90 million of cap space every single year, while the Cowboys are always struggling to keep their head above water. That's why. If Jerry Jones hadn't proposed a salary cap and, sharing the profits that the Cowboys get with the entire league, so many teams would not have the ability to sign the players that they do today or even in the past. Teams like Green Bay, Cleveland, Cincinnati, let's see, probably Jacksonville, Charlotte has some, Nashville. There's just quite a few markets that their teams would not do anything because they're not in the right spot. Especially New England. New England is not that big of a spot. They would not have the ability to have kept or signed the players they did all those years if there was not profit sharing. here's the thing, Woody. You have to have players that are about the team. Your quarterback for KC, Patrick Mahomes, was more worried about keeping players around him, which is why he signed a 10-year deal that basically made his deal really, really low each and every year. So that way the Chiefs had money to sign Kelsey, had money to keep their offensive line, had money to sign Chris Jones and company. When you have players that are selfish and only care about being the top paid player in the league, that's where you lose players. That's where you are struggling to find money to pay players, because you have selfish players who want to be paid top dollar and have agents telling them, well, let the team worry about how they're going to fix the salary cap. Well, you have, as a quarterback, you have control of how much money is available to help keep your team together or to sign players to improve your team. Dak is all about money. He's not about winning. It's an owner problem to a point, but it's a player problem. Players want to be paid top dollar. They think they're the top player in the league. Every player thinks they're the best player in the league. So the top players up here, if player A gets $20 million a year and they are the best player in the league, let's just say this is Megatron as an example. Then you get a player, let's just put who's a receiver I could put up there just to kind of do a comparison? Julio Jones. Let's put Julio Jones in there. Julio Jones did not compare to Megatron whatsoever, but Julio Jones would want to be paid above Megatron because he feels he's earned it. That's not the way it should be. Sergio, how you doing? Appreciate you hopping on. Well, again, T. Hill had the exact same thought. He thought about taking money, less money to stay with Chiefs, but there was something about the contract that he didn't like, which is why he took the trade to Miami. At least that's what he says. I agree. It should be about the rings, but it's not. Most players don't care about winning championships anymore. It's all about getting paid and getting paid top dollar. Burt Young, this part is not part of TikTok. You have to get it on a other platform, sir. Yep. Well, Tyreek already said, he already knows he's not going to win a whole lot of championships in Miami, but he can do his best to try and get him there. Quando it happens, Wes. You never know what's going to happen in the NFL. Green Bay just had our number that day. Why are we so rough on Dak? Because of his play. We don't come at him for anything else but what he does on the field. Yes, he has a good regular season. Yes, he plays very well. But when it comes to the playoffs, he has yet to show up when the big game matters. For 3.5 quarters, he fails to show up. At the 8-minute mark of the fourth quarter is when he decides to play like he should have been playing the entire game. Just like he did against Green Bay. He didn't play worth a dang the entire game, but 8 minutes into the fourth quarter, actually he started playing a little bit quicker. In the third quarter, he started playing better all of a sudden. That's the reason why we are so hard on Dak, because when there's a certain game that he needs to be at his best and showing up, there's no Dak of the previous weeks to be found. Yeah, Pepsi, injuries are not an excuse. You play football, there's no excuses for injuries. You're going to use an injury as an excuse of why you're playing bad, then you need to be off the field. Oh, trust me, Bert, I was young. I was mad at my defense, too, because they play like crap, too. But at the same time, your offense has to pick up the slack if your defense isn't playing well. That didn't happen. I don't think we're drafting a quarterback this year. I don't see that happening. We have other holes to worry about. Not only that, we have 2 quarterbacks as backups right now, that if we did have to let Dak go, I'd be okay moving forward with one of them. Mahomes ain't going anywhere, so Mahomes would never be in the conversation. Again, like I said, I have no problem going forward with Trey Lance or even Cooper Rush. I don't know how we can say Trey Lance is terrible. We've never really seen him play. He has not played a full season. Very similar to Jordan Love. Jordan Love hadn't played jack his entire 3-4 year career until this past year. So, Trey Lance actually has to play a full season. He's been hurt. So he's never played a full season. So can't say that he's garbage or, can't really have an opinion on him other than he's injury prone. Because we haven't seen him play. Any quarterback in the league right now? Just because these would be possible options, and again, they're not likely. If to start up with a whole new quarterback and I had any choice in the league, probably anywhere between Josh Allen and Burrow. Because they didn't give Trey Lance to even compete. There was no competition to even see if Trey could actually beat out Brock Purdy. They just handed it to Brock Purdy, even though Brock Purdy was injured and still recovering from shoulder surgery. They just handed it to him. Gage, you're a Patriots fan, boss? Come on now. I can't trust any Patriots fan unless they know quarterback previous Tom Brady. And it has to actually it has to be previous Drew Bledsoe without looking it up on Google. How you doing, Dallas Cowboys King? How you doing? We let Tony Pollard go because he is not a starting running back, and I don't think Tony Pollard even wanted to be a Cowboy when we drafted him, because I listened to his draft call when the Cowboys called to draft him, and he didn't seem happy about it. He didn't seem excited. So, you know what? Good luck in Tennessee. You really don't have a running back in front of you. We'll see what you do as a starter over there. And Peasy, you're getting blocked because I've already said this before. Don't be disrespectful. Otherwise, you are getting blocked. So, goodbye. Zach, Texans ain't better than the Cowboys, boss. Hate to break it to you. Yes, y'all had a good year this past year. Y'all have yet to prove to do it on a consistent basis when you do have a good year. No, the Texans were good. They were definitely good this past year. But you have to do it more than 1 year. If people don't listen, goodbye. Zach, I hope you're right. We'll find out. We Woody Burrow has been injured, but again, he has taken the Bengals to a Super Bowl, so you can't exactly say he's worthless. Gage, if you don't know much about your team pre Tom Brady, because most Patriot fans only know Tom Brady and those years, come on. Zach, that doesn't matter, dude. Winning a game in the playoffs, going further than the other team, means little. You guys still haven't made to a Super Bowl. You guys still haven't won a Super Bowl. Just because you had one good year doesn't crown you anything. Quando, I've already said that about the Eagles. We'll find out, but I don't have faith in their OC, which is Kellen Moore. He doesn't run the football, so the money that the Eagles are paying Saquon is basically a waste, in my opinion. Also, Saquon is injury prone, similar to Trey Lance, but Saquon is injury prone, so we don't know if he's going to be healthy for a full season to be able to help the Eagles. And they also have a coach who doesn't know how to make correct decisions. So Zach, we were 12 years old when we won our first Super Bowl. When we were 22 years old, we'd already been to 4 Super Bowls and won 2. In 35 years of existence, we'd won 5 and been to 8 Super Bowls. What's your next excuse? Well, Zach, you're just a regular genius bringing up 1996. Yep. Your point? Waiting for a point. We still have 5 Super Bowls. Yes, I did, sir. I did make my own. I do make my own logos. Again, like I said, Gage, you only know Tom Brady, but you got to know your history of the Patriots, which most Patriot fans do not know. They only know. They only talk about Tom Brady. They won't talk about what happened previous Tom Brady. SG, appreciate it. Dang. Trash Panda, yeah, we already know. In all honesty, it shouldn't be a surprise. We've done this every year for the past 10 to 12 years, so it shouldn't be a surprise. Esteban, if you're a Cowboys fan, you got to deal with the highs and lows. If you wanted to be a Cowboys fan, you have to deal with it. Otherwise, you can be a Texans fan, you can be a Cleveland fan, you can be a Cardinal fan, any other fan. As a Cowboy fan, you are in it for better or for worse, highs and lows. It doesn't matter. You're still there. Curse is one way of putting it. I'm guessing this is Byron. Well, Trey Wright to the Rams might be a good pickup, but y'all still got a big hole to fill in that middle of that defensive line. I honestly didn't even think we would re-sign Dak for the deal that we gave him in the first place. I honestly did not feel he was worth $40 million a year. He should have been signed to a $30 million contract, if that. Very similar to Kirk Cousins. He doesn't deserve any of the money that he's been given, yet he keeps getting guaranteed contracts over and over and over again. Getting paid all this money to take a team that was one game away from the Super Bowl to not even making the playoffs. Theo, if you ain't listen to me, you are gone, bro. You mean the long snapper? Dude, everybody has to have a punter, you have to have a long snapper, you have to have a kicker. Special teams is just as important as all the other positions. You have a crony long snapper, which we've had at one point in time. Your entire operation is jacked up and you ain't doing nothing. So Miguel, I agree with you. I just hope he can do it another year and prove it wasn't a one-time thing. Quando, it's early in the off season. Training camp is still 4 months away. So much can change between now and training camp, between signing players and contracts and all this other stuff. Who knows what the draft is going to bring? The draft is too unpredictable. The only thing I can hope for the draft is that Jimmy Johnson pushes Jerry and Steven out of the room and he takes over the draft. That's the only good thing I can hope for. Chris, I'm not worried about it. I still think Dak has to prove himself as far as the playoffs go. Yes, he's proven himself in the regular season, but the regular season means little. If the playoffs and getting to the Super Bowl is all that matters, and that should be what determines whether you get paid top dollar or not, in my opinion. Half these players that are getting these big deals haven't proven to do anything in the entire league. So the new kickoff changes, I think it'll be interesting because it's gonna bring more returns because I'm getting tired of these stupid college rules of the kickoff returns. So I think it'll bring a lot more kickoffs, returns rather. So we'll see how it goes. But I watched the XFL do it. looked good to me. I mean, I had no problem with it. The only difference between the regular kickoff and that one is that they start 5 yards or 10 yards away from each other, and you just block up one-on-one. So, if your guys can't block straight up one-on-one and your returner can't make it to the kicker, then there's something wrong with your return unit. Quando, I go to every Cowboys home game. Have for the last 8 years. And before that, I never lived in Texas, but I went to as many games as I could. Hey, Betty, how you doing? No, Mongo, I'm not saying Jimmy's the new coach. He is in an executive role with the Cowboys. That is all. So what that means, I have no idea. No, I am not. I am not a Paul Brother fan, in all honesty. I don't support them. Yeah, I definitely see that happen. Well, Queen, you're definitely going to enjoy Jerry's World. Too bad it's not a Cowboys game. Goofy, I couldn't even begin to tell you. Maybe it's Alzheimer's. Who knows? Jerry just needs to learn how to keep his mouth shut, period. That's all that should be going on. Is Jerry shutting up and just doing his job in the back and let the players play and the coaches coach. But, all right, y'all. Appreciate y'all joining. That's all the time I got for tonight. I will be back on tomorrow night with the Mando Huddle with my co-host, Cowboylorian. If you guys want to hop on, we'll be on here at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So hope you all have a good night and have a good one.